Melbourne will host another blockbuster next year to farewell the Socceroos before the World Cup. The announcement comes after last night's showstopper at the MCG with Tim Cahill starring in front of a crowd of almost 70,000. James Talia has the story.
Tim Cahill was in demand this afternoon, fans swamping him at an appearance in the city. And it's little wonder after last night.
Cahill attacks it! Cahill scores!
His 2 goals made up a deficit and then gave Australia a 2-1 victory over Japan.
Oh, and it's gone in! Australia have a second goal, and it's Timmy Cahill again!
In fact, the Socceroos were so relaxed that coach Pim Verbeek tried a performance of his own. A brave pre-match attempt at our national anthem with questionable results.
Australians, all let us reduce.
It must be a Dutch thing. He went for a reduce rather.
And after another bumper crowd hit the MCG, today's announcement was perfectly timed. The Socceroos will play their farewell friendly at the ground in May before heading to South Africa. The opponent will be South American or European, perhaps even England.
I'm not sure the MCG would actually be big enough.
While there's no doubt many fans would love to see a grudge match against England here at the MCG, the Socceroos captain would prefer to encounter the old enemy at another time and in another place.
It'd be amazing, but I'd rather play them in South Africa. Knock them out.
In 2006, the same pre-World Cup fixture saw Australia play Greece in front of a crowd of 95,000.
I'm sure it's going to be a massive game, and it's going to be a game that prepares us so well for what's such an important tournament.
James Talia, 9 News.
Members of Iran's soccer team, meanwhile, have staged a protest during their World Cup qualifying match against South Korea. They wore green armbands in a show of support for the opposition leader as protests over the country's election escalate. Nick Johnston has the latest.
They may not have qualified for the World Cup, but Iran's soccer team grabbed headlines as several players wore green armbands during their match against South Korea in Seoul. The display was a show of support for opposition leader Mir Hossein Mousavi and protests against the country's disputed election. It came as thousands of Iranians again took to the streets of Tehran in growing defiance of their Islamic rulers. With foreign journalists banned from attending or filming rallies, amateur vision surfaced on the internet of riot police and militia cracking down on protesters. But across the world, including in Melbourne, demonstrators continue to vent their anger.
I believe that they actually cheated in the election and they manipulated the results.
The people of Iran deserve the right to have their voices heard and their votes counted.
Iranian authorities have threatened legal action against anyone who publishes material that creates tension. But despite growing worldwide condemnation and concern, the US says it won't meddle in Iran's affairs.
It is for the Iranians to determine how they resolve this internal protest concerning the outcome of the recent election.
Nick Johnston, 9 News.
A man in the United States